nice. So it's nice we started with Gosanke. Did you do that on purpose? We went through a Gohaku.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was a nice flow, going right into Hi Utsuri.
Hi Utsuri.
Right into it. Love it.
Yeah,
I love the flow.
These are some awesome Hi Utsuri. These are bred by Shinoda. Shinoda, he specializes in Hi Utsuri.
I love how you're talking about the breeders. You know, you don't just go to a one-stop shop place. That's why your fish are so special, because you're going to different breeders to collect different things.
Yeah, absolutely. So like there are what I would say like Walmart koi breeders, right?
Okay.
Or breeders that specialize in nothing but breed lots of fish.
Lots of fish.
And those places are great sources of koi, and they breed good koi. However, because I have the opportunity to, and I have so many friends in Japan, I really like to exploit the fact that I can go to a specialist Hi Utsuri breeder. Because I just find that the quality that you get from that particular place is going to be top notch.
Right.
And so this guy, he produces usually some of the best Hi Utsuri I've ever seen. Specializes in those. He also does some really unusual Deutsch koi too, so shout out to him for that. But his great thing is, man, he produces some huge Hi Utsuri.
Oh, they get big.
Yeah, like I remember the first time, one of my first times in Japan, I went and was admiring his Hi Utsuri, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta admire. Come over here. Come admire this one." So he showed me the female that these Hi Utsuri come from, and it was just massive. Yeah, in my head, I was young, but that koi had to be at least like 7 feet or something. All right, so let's get right into it. So, first Hi Utsuri we have is this. These are all females. Is this girl right here? So, if we notice, things that we're looking at in Hi Utsuri, these have 3 different colors of orange, and it's really, really, really subtle. But this is somewhere in between the other 2 as far as the depth of the red.
Okay.
Now, the depth of the red when it comes to Shinoda Hi Utsuris isn't something to worry about, because as they mature, they will all get darker red, right? But if you pick one that, say, has very, very dark red, like this one here, this will probably finish a little bit sooner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So this one has sort of a medium color red. Then we go right into the Utsuri pattern. So Utsuri it means reflections, and we want kind of a checkerboard pattern. This one here, if you notice, it has a little bit less sumi than the other varieties, or the other 2 examples we have in here, but it's still really nice and balanced. Man, nice thick tail here that we really like, and a very interesting face pattern. Typically with Utsuri, this sumi could disappear within a couple years and then redevelop come back, which is another fun part about Utsuri. In my personal pond back in the day, we had a Hi Utsuri, and there was a good couple years where it was easily the ugliest fish in our pond.
Yeah.
Ready to, all right, she needs to move on.
Yeah.
But she ended up being easily the prettiest koi that we had. It was just tomato red, really, really nice. Something else that's really great about this one is Utsuri tend to have a lot of splotchiness, or a lot of like black speckling, and this one's very, very clean. So that's good qualities about this Utsuri, right? The next one is this female here. She's just boss. Like, she's got the strong shoulders. She's got that really nice tomato red color to her. The sumi pattern is actually very similar. Now that they're right next to each other, you can tell that they're sisters. It has that really nice sort of saddle of sumi across here.
Yes.
And then another nice sort of reflection sumi bolt there, and then a little bit of black right there at the end of the tail. So this is going to be the bigger fish. It's going to have that little bit darker red. And then it's got quite a bit more speckling through it, right?
Right.
So you want to kind of notice that.
All their tails are about the same thickness.
Yeah, they sure are, yeah.
And so oftentimes when we're looking at the newer varieties of fish, like say the Deutsch varieties, they're not going to get quite as big. So we can kind of expect that they're all going to get pretty darn big because of the breeder, right?
Right.
Their tail thicknesses look pretty darn close to me.
Yeah, great skeleton.
So we're not worried about which fish is going to get bigger necessarily in this,
Correct.
in this 3.
In these 3, right. You got it.
That's good to know.
And then our third one is also, that sort of lighter color orange, which again will develop into like a darker red. But what kind of sets this one apart from the others is that really, really kind of cool mask. It's got kind of Phantom of the Opera style,
I was
right?
just going to say that, right?
Yeah. So she's got that really, really cool face pattern. And then this is where that checkerboard comes in, because you have that heavy part of sumi on the face here, and then it's counterbalanced by this sumi step here, which is then counterbalanced by the sumi step here,
Yeah.
and back all the way down through. So you have this really cool sort of checkerboard going down
Yes.
through. It's really, really neat. It fascinates me that this happens, pseudo naturally.
Right.
This wasn't painted on. Like someone didn't come in here with like a Sharpie and put that on there. Like this is how the koi came out. So cool.
And do we talk about Montaguro on these guys at all? I mean, it's not really Montaguro; they're just black peck fins, right?
No, yeah, we'd still technically call it Montagoro. These guys tend to have more of a, I guess I describe it like a fan type effect. So you can see a little bit better on here where it'll have black stripes that go all the way to the end. Kind of like your finger here, so it'll be kind of striping,
Right.
is ideal. But as these fish mature and change, you'll start to see that.
They can change, the peck fins will change as well?
Right, but generally, like especially when like small fish, it has, pure black fins, generally.
Okay. So the 2-year-olds, I think this one's the hardest one for me so far. Even though I was frozen by the beauty of the Deutsch Sanke that we did, and that
Right.
was just but this one I'm kind of frozen by like, man, I don't know which one I would take home. That would be the better fish. So I'm kind of eliminating the fact that I can't really judge too much on the Montaguro. It's going to change.
Right.
I can't judge too much about the red because they should all finish the same. They're all females. They all should get big. So those are some of the qualities you are really looking for along the way. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So now, I mean, it kind of comes down to personal preference at this point. You might see something a little deeper than...
Yeah, so I mean, like real quick when we're talking about real specific things, because this is actually a good example here. If we talk about the head shape of these koi, so this, of the 3, this one probably has the smallest head. And generally, Utsuris have kind of these triangle head shapes compared to like a big round Sanke, right?
Okay.
So this has the smallest head shape, and even if the bodies are going to get really long and big, if you have a small head, it's kind of like a like if you have
those
this
big
ripped dude
bodybuilder,
and these
yeah.
little itty bitty kind of big body, tiny head kind of guys, where this head is just massive. So it's going to be able to support the frame all the way through. So if you have a big pond, if you have like a big 10,000 gallon pond, maybe something like this is a better choice for you, right? And so these are the factors you got to think about when picking a koi. So if you have a smaller koi and the smaller head, maybe this is the right choice because you like the pattern, right?
Yeah. Well, this is good too, because so if you have other Utsuris in the pond, I mean, I'm expanding this a little bit, but if you have other Utsuris in the pond, you might pick a checkerboarded pattern that is identical to the one you have. So you have Shiru Utsuri and Hi Utsuri, they look almost the same but different color.
Right.
Or you pick a completely opposite checkerboarded pattern, so they're very distinctly different in color and checkerboardness.
All the time
So,
people come in and
yeah.
they'll buy a very heavy sumi Shiru Utsuri, so something with a lot of black, and then they'll buy one that shows off the nice white.
Right, so that balances that out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's it. Before you tell us which fish we should take
Sure.
out of here, I want to jump into the next selection, and we'll announce it in the next video.
Great.